the first problem of the snow shoveling, that's the fatigue and the stress that falls on your back. How do you snow shovel? Alright, so you stand like that, you push to take the snow, then you gotta lift it, yeah? And that means you gotta bend and straighten your back. All over and over and over. Furthermore, add cold conditions and from heavy clothes, and that leads just to many injuries among people. Furthermore, people then injure themselves accidentally many times simply by, instead of lifting using your knees, they start straightening their back and trying to raise the snow shovel, which is a huge mistake. Alright, this problem number 2 with the snow shoveling is actually related more to the tools that you use and the process of the shoveling itself. For example, if you have a big space you need to remove the snow from, and you're going to use the snow shovel like that, you're going to waste so much of time and energy. But that means you're going to have to own the snow shovel like this or that? Really? You're telling me that I have to own like thousands of different snow shovels? Now the problem number 3, it is wet snow. Maybe it's not applicable to absolutely any climate, however here in Estonia it's very often. What happens? Alright, so you push your snow shovel into the snow, then you lift and you want to throw it, but no, it doesn't get out of your scoop, and you end up by literally hitting your snow shovel against the ground or using your legs and foot to try to remove it from the scoop. Alright, now we are more in a quiet place, and just before you've heard the issues about snow shoveling or the snow shovels that I try to keep in mind when working on a new design. So right now I hope on the screen you should see the design developed, and I'll just briefly describe it and then we go into the details, looking at different design elements, and I'll try to justify the solutions. Meanwhile, for relieving the stress, the additional lever, in our case the additional handle, is used. As for the second issue that there is no universal snow shovel, I suggest to make the interchangeable scoops. We'll also get into it a little bit later. And the third issue is actually quite interesting about the wet snow. I took a little more like engineering approach here. In fact, my design doesn't exactly solve this issue. The scoop is kind of flat, so maybe the wet snow would stick to it a little less, but it doesn't solve the problem globally. So I suggest it would be a more expensive version, but as a premium feature, we could make the hydrophobic layer put on the surface of the scoop, so it basically, the wet snow basically will not be able to attach itself to it. Alright, so we're not taking any coffee breaks and jumping right into the first design element, which is the scoop. Here, as you can see, approximate design of the scoop that would be a part of the snow shovel when it's being sawed. It's quite flat, no, not very big, right? As for other features, there is no blade here, like many snow shovels actually have the edge made of steel, but the decision was made that in case if you would like to snow shovel, for example, on some construction, let's say made of wood, the edge made of steel would damage it. If it's made completely out of plastic, of course, durable and strong plastic, however plastic, that means it's not gonna get, the other surface will not be damaged. And plus, the idea is to make the scoops interchangeable. How it happens? Well, the shaft goes into the scoop, and they both have some kind of notches, but this notch just keeps the scoop not falling out. Well, you can easily take it out, but how it makes it, the construction is made to be durable, it's in this particular design there isn't, but in fact there should be 2 pentagon screws, just for example right here, and the second just nearby. 2 pentagon screws will make sure that the construction is durable and you can perform the actions required. Now, let's go and discuss the shaft of our new snow shovel. Generally, it is not the most interesting design element, as it's just a long tube. There is nothing special except a minor detail. Closer to the handle, the shaft would have the oval shape. You may ask why so? In fact, there are a couple of reasons.
First of all, it is a smart shovel. That means it has some sensors. Therefore, they require the energy source to power those. So there will be a couple of long-term rechargeable batteries. Hence, they require space. Here is the answer. The second reason comes from shovel's flexibility. As mentioned, the design considers an opportunity to interchange the scoops. Therefore, some tool would need to be used to actually allow the change, connect and tight the connection between the shaft and the scoop. In this case, it is a pentagon key. So in the shaft, a small section you will be able to open, just like you do with your remote control for TV. Inside, you will be able to place the batteries, and there is a place specifically for the one small pentagon key. It is an integral part of this shovel that you can access literally at any time, so there is no need for the user to worry that he or she could accidentally lose it. Now we're moving to the next design element, which is the additional lever. In our case, it's the rope is used as the additional handle or the lever. Maybe it sounds unusual, however, it provides certain benefits. First of all, the lack of fixated or strong second handle doesn't allow you to hardly push and take too much of snow at once. Also, the handle on the rope is located so that there is no need to bend your back. Instead, you can use only your arms and the muscles around your shoulder blades, just in case the total length of the rope can be changed in a small wrench. Furthermore, since it is the rope, the user has total control over the direction of movement of the snow shovel, and it is very simple to maneuver whenever you shovel the snow. As the additional bonus, if the user would like to do some physical activity or there is a necessity to raise the snow shovel really high, the clips with the rope can be easily removed and the snow shovel would be used by means of grabbing the shaft. Alright, and finally we are talking about the handle. This design element doesn't bring much new excitement. It's a usual handle. It is made of reinforced and strong plastic. It is of D shape for more comfortable grip. Also, similarly to the scoop, it can be interchanged to a different one. In case when I discussed the scoop, I brought a few examples that explain the necessity and usefulness of this function. In case of handle, it doesn't bear a particular functionality. However, such flexibility can be helpful in case you would like to put some other handle, or in case if something happens to this one. If it cracks, for example, it doesn't stem from the shaft, so you just get a new handle and your snow shovel is ready to go.
So finally, we can move to the smartness of the snow shovel, and there are a couple of things to be discussed. The first smart connected device is the temperature measure sensor. So it would measure the temperature at which the snow shovel is right now. So it will be able to distinguish between, for example, when the snow shovel is in the garage and when it's outside. And when it's outside, it will also calculate how much of time you spend with the snow shovel outside, and based on other parameters like weight or height of a user. It's not just smartness, but it also will notify the user that you should stop shoveling, otherwise it may lead to some actual physical health issues. The second, it's the GPS, very simple, but if you by accident somewhere forget or lost your snow shovel, or you gave it to someone, you can always track it from your mobile phone. And finally, the one more smart device is the calories counter. Also very simple in concept. However, as the snow shoveling is for some people, it's not just the process of removing the snow, but also it's a part of their fitness. The opportunity to track your activity during snow shoveling is a great advantage. In the end, the presented design of the snow shovel is an attempt to approach and challenge the commonness of everyday things. Let me tell you why you'll buy this product, not because it's functional or looks good, but because you want the experience it can provide, such as the feeling of comfort or energy driver, confidence in your own actions, or the fulfillment of the social responsibility.